Good morning, everybody. This is the Out of Bounds Sports Show, Super Bowl. This broadcast is brought to you by Making the World Famous for Life. The broadcast is also brought to you by the Boardroom Lounge, Cigar Lounge in Fort Worth, Texas. I haven't been on for a couple of days, getting the broadcast together, getting ready for some big things that's getting ready to happen for us. My co-host here will be on shortly. We're getting ready to do some big things in the city. Thank you everybody for joining the show this morning. It's Friday, 2/2/2018. Man, it's this year is already whipping by. A lot of people didn't make it to 2018. Some of my good friends, man, we're steady losing family members. So let's put a prayer in the air for those families that are suffering during this time. And we want to thank everybody for all the support that's been given. We're getting ready to go live on TV. We're still working on that, so we want to thank for everybody that's been supporting us in that aspect. We're getting ready to start the play-by-play, so I won't be on Facebook as much or the broadcast as much because we'll be doing, TV and we'll be traveling a lot more. So I'll make sure I keep you guys updated on what's going on so that you can be posted and come through and join us and support all the events that we have going on. One of our sponsors, Play Battles, alumni, Texas College, a good friend of mine, he's having a party, Super Bowl party at the Boardroom Cigar Lounge, Whiskey Cigar Lounge in Fort Worth, Texas. So y'all should go check him out on Sunday. If you're in the area, you're not doing nothing. Thank you, Leroy, for joining to the broadcast. So there's a lot of stuff that's been going on in the news. I know everybody's trying to gear up for the Super Bowl. I don't know who you got picked, but it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be better than a lot of people think. T-Berry, what's up, baby? My partner from Cali, a really good friend of mine. We go way back. I don't know who he got for the Super Bowl, but I'm going to take the underdog. I really think Philly has proved themselves basically to be the best team in the NFL this year, despite losing the MVP, arguably the MVP of the NFL this year in Carson Wentz. Z Green, thank you for joining in to the broadcast. You guys, if you're looking for an organization, an AAU organization that's going to teach your kid the game of basketball, the way it's need to be taught, the fundamentals, and it's going to be the knowledge and the IQ of the game is going to be given to you by someone who's actually been successful at the game. BWZ. Check him out, Z Green. Good friend of mine, has a great organization where he's teaching kids, and he's in the southern part of Dallas, Oak Cliff area. So if you want to look him up, his name is Zadra Green. His organization is BWZ. So check that out. He also has an outstanding daughter, Zariel Green, a superstar for the Duncanville Pantherettes, who's a Tennessee Vols signee. And so you guys want to check him out. If you have some kids that you're trying to get going in basketball and they just haven't got it yet, Z Green has a great organization you can start and learn the game from and then go from there. So the Super Bowl is on Sunday. I know everybody be watching it. It's supposed to be about 5:30 p.m. Central Time. So I'm going with the Eagles. I think the Eagles have the best defense overall up front. I think they're going to give them an opportunity to win the game. Nick Foles has proven in the last 2 weeks, or the last 3 weeks, that he can manage a football game and not lose it. On top of not losing the game, he's been playing exceptionally well in scoring touchdowns. He gave them 38 points on their last outing. So I think the Eagles, even if they're giving them some points, if you're a parlay person, a gambling person, you better take the points, because the Patriots. See, this is one thing I say about the Patriots. The Patriots are what they call a veteran team. Okay? And what I mean by veteran, I mean by smart, efficient. They're going to make sure that they don't make mistakes, because they have to cover up some of their discrepancies or some of their weaknesses. And the Patriots have a weakness in the secondary. Now, their front seven is pretty good. It's always pretty good, especially under Bill Belichick, who is a great, great coach. But Doug Peterson has the Eagles geared up and ready to win their first Super Bowl since the 60s. And going back to history, they have never won a Super Bowl, actually. Their last appearance they had in the Super Bowl was 2004, when they played the New England Patriots, and they had Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens. And remember, Terrell Owens broke his leg in the Cowboys game, and they changed that rule as far as the horse collar rule. Because he was drugged down from the back and his broken leg, and he was one of the top receivers in the game. So, of course, every time something happens in the NFL, they change the rule, which is just killing me, because you should just play football. If you're going to play football and you know that it's a very violent game and you're going to get out there and see what you got, then don't complain when you get hurt, because you know what the stipulations are when you step on the football field. I told my son the same thing when he was playing football. Listen, man, there is no joking or playing when you're out there on the football field, because there are plenty of headhunters. And you better be careful and keep your head on the swivel. I understood that when I played the game. So the football is losing a lot of fans only because they continue to keep changing the game. I think the worst thing about the football that they keep changing every single year is the catch. Can somebody please help me understand what an actual catch is? I was watching Outside the Lines yesterday with Bob Lee, and they had a gentleman on. I can't think of his name at this point, and he made a good point. If the catch is just straight, I caught it, 2 steps. Oh, that's the old rule, how it used to be. If you catch it 2 steps, you make a move, a football move, then it's a catch. If you fumble it after that, you lose it after that, okay, that's on you. But you got to catch it and make 2 moves. So I just believe that they need to leave that alone. And in my opinion, if you catch the ball, make 2 steps, you out of there. That's a catch. I don't care if you fumble it. I don't care if somebody comes and try to knock it loose. I don't care if you on the ground, because trying to, they're asking you as a professional to do something that's almost inhuman. They want you to catch it. They want you to keep 2 feet in. They want you to control all your body. They want you to slam your body into the ground and the ball never move, and all of these different things. That's just too much. if you throw the ball to me, I got my hands on it, I catch it, bam, it's over. Should be over. I'm on the ground. So I think they're going to go back and revisit the rule because every single time they change the rule, something else happens where they need to change it again. And it's starting to affect the actual game because the fans can't really enjoy the game because too much replay. So as we're on Facebook Live and we are on our broadcast, we're going to send the broadcast to a commercial, and then we're going to come back in a few minutes and crank the broadcast up. We're going to still be on the Facebook Live, taking questions and answers. And you're listening to the Out of Bounds Sports Show. This is the big dog, Jay Horn. We'll holler at you in a moment. So, all of my people on Facebook, I'd like to know what you think about the Super Bowl. Leave your questions and answers. Hey, that's my niece, Ania. Thank you for joining the broadcast with your uncle. Happy early birthday to you, your 18th birthday. I love you. I hope to see you really soon. I know Uncle been working, but I ain't been able to get with you. But I'm going to have something for you. So, my partner Kevin Graham, thank you for joining the broadcast. So, what we're doing right now, if you want to leave your questions or comments in the comment section, we're taking the votes for the Super Bowl to see who do you think is going to win this year's Super Bowl and why. And if you want to come on the broadcast and you want to debate with the dog, leave a question, a post inside of the comment section, and then I'll do my best to bring you on to the broadcast so that you can give your spiel. Because I like to hear what all of my fans and listeners and followers have to say about a lot of sports that we talk about. Okay, because we're going to talk about some interesting stuff in this next hour. We'll be here till 9 o'clock. And you're on the Out of Bounds Sports Show with the big dog. So, don't forget that the boardroom is having a Super Bowl party in Fort Worth, Texas. Visit www.outofbounds.com for more information on that Super Bowl party. And of course, we're going to have a pregame show before the Super Bowl. I think we're probably going to come on around 11 or 12, give you guys enough, because we know it's going to be a lot of tailgating going on Sunday. Then we're going to have everybody on. Jeff, thanks for joining the broadcast. Dominique, my dude. Micah, what's up? We're getting ready for that hoop, and we're getting ready to return to the broadcast, and we're going to talk a little more about LeBron. And we're back. Thank you for joining the Out of Bounds Sports Show. Now, we talked about the Super Bowl, and so now we're going to talk about the NBA. So the NBA has been shook up with some reports and stories about LeBron James going to the Golden State Warriors. I don't believe he's going to do it. I really don't believe that LeBron James would even exercise the option of going to the Golden State Warriors. The league is already lopsided. And this is the problem with competition. This is the problem with free agency. And this, I can't side with the owners on the way they treat the players as far as contracts. They have been doing a lot better because now the new collective bargaining agreement forces the owners to share the money that's being made on the TV contracts with the players, 51 to 49%. Okay, and that's why you see a bunch of these guys who do not have skill getting multi-million-dollar contracts. Uncle Tony, what's up, baby? Good to see you. Thank you for joining the broadcast. I don't understand how guys are getting this much money and can't make a jump shot. This is the problem with the league at this point right now. And it's because of free agency, and it's because the guys have no loyalty to the team, so the teams don't have any loyalty to these guys. But to think that LeBron James getting ready to come up in free agency at this point, I would stop watching the NBA if he joined the Golden State Warriors. It's just too unfair. Right now, it's unfair, and LeBron is not even there. And LeBron is the single best player in the NBA. So why would you join the Golden State Warriors, who have the last two MVPs on their team? Pharaoh, what's up, baby? Thank you for joining in. Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Okay, I understand the super team idea, and I know teams all over the NBA are trying to build a super team to compete with Golden State, who's already a super team. And what makes them a super team is not the fact that they have all of the best players in the world. It's that they have an efficient offense ran by a coach who was a shooter, one of the top shooters in NBA history, and understands what needs to happen to create offense on the court and to be successful. And also they have two of the top players in the NBA already on their squad, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. Now, just think about what would happen if they added LeBron James. You talking about 2 years ago, 73-9, the Golden State Warriors went 73-9. They didn't have Kevin Durant. And now they might add LeBron James after they added Kevin Durant. Now you talking about for what, 4, 5, 6? He really can say 5, 6, 7, or whatever you want to say if he was to make that move, because no team in the NBA could match up with LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. And I didn't speak about Klay Thompson or Draymond Green or Sean Livingston. I didn't even speak about Iguodala or David West or any of those other guys. So it would just be extremely lopsided, and the league would lose a lot of money because people would stop watching them because it's too predictable. You don't want to make the league predictable by making a move like that, and I don't think Adam Silver will let something like that go down, just like he didn't let the Chris Paul trade go down back in the day to go to the Lakers, and then it would have been Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant and a few other guys, and the league would have been lopsided at that time. So I think that that's just rumors, and I don't think LeBron is that, what's the word for it? Hard pressed to get NBA titles, trying to catch up with Michael Jordan. But if you think about it, if LeBron James is really chasing titles at this point, he has all the other accolades that you can think about that can be done by a player in this era. He's arguably the best player in this era of basketball players. If he's chasing championships, then that would be the move. But I wouldn't go to Golden State. As a competitor, I want to compete against the best team in the league. And, and me right now, playing in a 40 and over league at Bobby Knight's Pro-Am League, and a lot of the players in that league play college or play pro somewhere or have a pretty decent game, and they've had a bunch of teams. And the team that I was on a couple of years ago, we won a championship with a team that was much less talented than some of the other teams that we played against, especially as far as size and strength. But for me, and I was the MVP 2 years in a row. Why would I want to go to another team that already is packed with superstars, and then I'm just going to take my talents over there so the league can be lopsided. No, I want to play against the best dudes. I want to prove that I can beat you with whatever you got. That's just a competitor in me, and I believe that LeBron is that type of competitor. So I think it's just rumors. We'll see. You know, we're in February right now, and that the trades that happened with the Cavaliers have made it tough. LeBron James hasn't committed to a long-term contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers, so we'll see. I'd like to see LeBron go to a team like Houston. Or why don't you go and join another superstar in the Eastern Conference like Giannis? That would be somewhere you could go and join and make some noise. You know, just keep the league, interesting. Okay. Just found out, breaking news, that Kevin Love is not going to need hand surgery. So that's good for the Cavaliers. You know, they're trying to put some pieces together. They're trying to grab some pieces for the deadline to get him a push to the NBA Finals. But at this point, the only team that probably could compete with the Golden State Warriors is the Houston Rockets, and they're in the Western Conference. So I actually lightweight feel bad for the Eastern Conference because they don't have a viable team that can actually win a 7-game series against either Houston or Golden State in the Western Conference. So we're going to go to commercial break on the broadcast. This is the Big Dawg on the Out of Bounds Sports Show. We'll be back in a moment. So for my people on Facebook Live, what do you think? Leave your comments. Leave your questions. We're going to try to get to your questions and answers. We have about 15 more minutes before we're going to end the broadcast, and we'll probably see you guys this afternoon with some more updates. But what do you think about LeBron James and where he's going to go in free agency? Or is he going to finally commit to the Cavs and retire? I would say if they could pay him out of max, 5 years, pending injury, he could finish his career in Cleveland, where it all started, in his home state. And I think that will make him comfortable. He gave him a championship, so he really doesn't have any more obligation to them. He did exactly what he said he was going to do when he came back. He went to 7 straight finals. It's nothing that you can say about that young man. He has every accomplishment that you can think of. So I think that he's going to be, at the end of it, when it's said and done, he's going to be one of the greatest of all time. Okay. Make sure you guys visit outofboundsports.com and check out our articles. Check out the information. You want to advertise with us. We're getting ready to do some big things here on TV. I want to thank all the supporters, everybody that's been there since day one when we started and growing with us. We're steady picking up sponsors. My co-host Dino, he's out handling business as he always is, and the Big Dawg is on. We're gonna hold it down. So make sure you check us out. We're gonna have the YouTube station going, and get ready for that. Get ready for arena football, and we're getting ready for a lot of big things coming up during the summer and the next school year for high school sports, college sports, and professional sports. And we're getting ready to bring back the broadcast live on the Out of Bounds Sports Show. This is the Big Dawg. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. So we're back. We're back on the Out of Bounds Sports Show. This is the Big Dawg. My co-host Dino, he's grinding right now, as he always does on a daily basis. So we have about 15 minutes left. We want to take question and answers for the Super Bowl. We want to take question and answers. What do you think about LeBron James in free agency? And for the last 15 minutes, we want to talk about some serious stuff in sports right now. And that's the case that was broken by OTL, Outside the Lines on ESPN, Bob Lee, talking about Michigan State. Now, the last few years, we've had a lot of scandals. Actually, the last decade. A lot of scandals with college sports. Smith, what's going on? Thank you for joining into the broadcast. John, thank you for joining in to the broadcast. And these allegations by this doctor, Dr. Nasser, who was an Olympic doctor for gymnastics. And he had over 100 cases of molesting little girls. And when they came to see him as a doctor for treatment or different things. And it's such a sad situation that this guy got so many years, they can't even give him any more years. He's actually probably going to die in the penitentiary for the things that he's done to these young ladies. And on top of it, it was reported. See, this is the problem that I have with this situation, okay? And I'm a father. I'm a father of a very talented, young man. My son, he's at Colorado State playing basketball, big time D1. And I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I have a 1-year-old son. And man, thinking about how I would feel as a parent to find out that my child was playing professional sports or my child was in a collegiate program and was sent to a doctor for treatment or some issues or to have some, it's just, I'm sorry. I was at a loss for words just thinking about my daughter being molested. And then she reported it. And nobody did anything about it. No police. When you have a police officer go to a hearing and apologize to a young lady because he didn't take her report serious, that's a problem in the community. That's a problem in our athletics. When a person can go and report something as detrimental as rape or molestation, and it be covered up continuously for over years. This man, Nasser, I don't know who he is, but I've read up about him. He was the doctor of the Olympics. One of the supposed to be prestigious events in the history of the world. And these girls were going or even sent to him. And he was molesting them. Man. We have to think about that when we're wanting to send our kids to a college or an organization where they're not in our care. And we have to trust somebody else to do the right thing by our child. And even if they don't and our child reports it, it's passed over. It's not addressed. Michigan State is a storied program. And I have the utmost respect for Tom Izzo as a coach and Dan Toney. But this is unacceptable. And you can't continue to keep telling people that we didn't know. We didn't know. We had no idea. What you did was you turned your back on the reports because you're trying to protect the money. You try to protect the prestige of the organization. And that's not how you function. That's not how you be a reporter. That's not how you take care of these athletes that are making millions and millions of dollars for your institution. What you do, you get rid of the ignorance. That's what you do. NASA should have been fired a long time ago. He was recommended to be fired 20 years ago, and then he was reinstated after reports of him surfaced raping these girls and molesting these girls. How do you continue to allow someone to practice medicine or practice whatever their occupation is? I don't understand that. It's unacceptable. And everybody at Michigan State needs to be fired. They need to wipe the whole staff and send them all to jail. Now you can put me on record as saying that, because I'm a father of an athlete and I understand what goes on in these programs, because I've been an athlete myself, and that is unacceptable to have hundreds and hundreds of cases of reports and none of it be addressed until now. Until somebody's caught red-handed. That's terrible. That really is terrible. Same thing with Penn State. Same thing with Syracuse. Y'all messing with little boys. I don't even want to say it's even worse, but I'm saying it's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting for these kids to be sent to your program and put under your care and trust by their parents. And you being taking advantage of these young kids and their trust that they have for you, and touching them and doing things in them that's uncomfortable, and then they report it and then you hide the paperwork. I'm just irritated right now. So this is the Big Dog. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back. We have about 8 minutes left. You're listening to the Out of Bounds Sports Show. So, my dog Kendra King, all the way from Florida, thank you for joining in. Cheryl, thank you for joining in from Cali. We coast to coast today on the Out of Bounds Sports Show. We are coast to coast. Will Mundine, my good partner, basketball partner, referee partner. Y'all see I got the new look. I'm getting ready to take an adventure in college officiating, so I got to get ready. They want you to have the naked face. Now, I was opposed to the naked face for many, many years. But as I'm getting older now and more seasoned, I'm going to roll with the naked face as far as this refereeing and join the group so we can get in there and, you know what I'm saying, and do something different. That's how I stay around sports, with the officiating part and as far as my broadcasting show. So when we come back on the broadcast, we're going to talk our last topic. What's going on? Cuzzo, Big Text Marketing, check him out. He's going to let you know what's going on in the area as far as, you know, as your cigar. If you love the cigar, you need to check out Big Text Marketing and find out where they're doing it at. They got hashtag Cigar Friends. Check him out. That's my Cuzzo. He's doing big things. His marketing is big things. If you got a brand, you're trying to market it, contact him. For his prices, and you know, he's affordable. He's professional. He's been doing it for a long time. So check him out. Big Text Marketing. So we got about 30 seconds before we go back live on the broadcast, and we're going to finish up this last 5 minutes before the show is over, and we're going to talk about finish up the Michigan State, and we're going to talk a few more things about what's going on at these institutions. You're on the Out of Bounds Sports Show with the Big Dog. Holla at the dog. So we're back. Thank you for joining the broadcast. We have about 5 more minutes. We're on Facebook Live. Check us out, the Out of Bounds Sports Show. Check us out also at www.outofbounds.sports.com for all the upcoming events. This broadcast is brought to you by the Z-Web Design, Z-Web, the obvious choice. If you're looking for web building, web designing, web advertising, and you don't have a website and you need someone to build you one, Email zerahorn@gmail.com for more information on how to get your website dynamically built just for you and your business. It's also brought to you by JCK Sports. Kev Martin, a really good friend of mine. He has an organization where he is a talent scout, and he's placing guys who have real talent overseas. He has several players in the NBA, and he's coming to an area near you. Check him out, JCK Sports, or you can look him up at Kev Martin, KEVMARTIN, on Facebook and on Instagram. So we're getting ready to end the show. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Jay-Z Fitness, Making the World Famous for Life, VC, and the Boardroom Lounge. So holla at the Dawg. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for joining the broadcast. I'm gone.